Hello everyone, I'm back with another Sims 4 Era House video. This time it's Gothic Revival, and I'm actually really excited with how this house turned out. I actually was able to get most of the furniture to match the Gothic Revival era. Because I did Google like the wallpaper and the furniture, and it actually really worked with a lot of the items that already exist in The Sims. Because one of my biggest issues is I know that with some of the furniture, I would have to get creative content to be able to actually match furniture. And this one actually matched like the Queen Anne decor and the vampire expansion. So I didn't really have to use much of the base items. I also think that this house used the least amount of stuff packs compared to some of my houses. So now I guess we're going to get into the build. So as you can see, I had started with kind of an asymmetrical shape. Now we're getting into the more asymmetrical shaped houses. One thing that's very common in a lot of current houses is you don't really see very symmetrical looks. So with the roof, this was a little frustrating because in the original picture, you saw that little piece the roof kind of came up into, but didn't clip from or clip it. And I couldn't really get the roof to do that. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try too hard on that because I'll get frustrated and waste too much time. So this was another issue was getting this roofing on there perfectly. I had to change the shape of it many times. I wanted it to be kind of halfway like you would see in the video, but I couldn't really get that. So you get what you get, I guess. Windows were also an issue in this build because I couldn't find something that perfectly matched the original photo with the Gothic Revival houses. So I guess again, you get what you get. So I didn't really talk about anything about Gothic Revival houses yet. So let me look at my notes here. So Gothic Revival houses were built from the 1840s to the 1880s. They had steeply pitched roof and decorated barge board and cross gables. Not entirely sure exactly what that means. A lot of, they were had very arched windows and doors and just panels in general. It had a first floor porch, as you can see that I'm actually putting in right now. Uh, Gothic Revival first started in England and made its way to the U.S. A lot of the decor that you see in the exterior of the house would be shapes that you found on medieval churches and houses. But these houses were mostly found in rural areas. Oh, I said the word without having a total issue with my speech impediment. Um, the furniture was very common to look a lot like medieval churches and houses. It had very like decadent, like steep angles, so you'll see that. This wallpaper kind of frustrated me because you can see on the corners on the second floor you had that, and then on the first floor you didn't. And there, I don't really know why how the Sims decides, like, okay, we're gonna put that corner for the brick here and not there. I'm gonna have to look into that because it really frustrated me that I couldn't get it on the first floor as well. Because in the house, it had it on that corner all the way down. I just kind of left it and just kind of hoped that it wasn't a big deal for people because that was the best. That wallpaper with that kind of brick corner matched perfectly to what we were using. Now the wall or the windows were an issue for me trying to find, as it always is. What do I say every video? What do I say? There's not enough window options. There's not enough. Especially for the floor, like the second and third, like the second and third like wall, like if you raise the walls. Um I don't know if I end up raising the wall in this one. I think I end up trying and then it not working very well. So I end up going with like some arched windows. I end up going with different windows for that little piece compared to the rest because the window that I wanted to use was too big for that area. So I end up going with these, which I thought kind of matched the decoration of the house much better, but they weren't wide enough for the rest of the house. So I end up going with those windows for the rest of it. And I like the window turnout, and I do like the exterior. One thing I wish I could do is like, the part for the roof trim, if they did have like more decorative versions of that match the Gothic Revival. I feel like that's a Sims 4 thing. Like, because the vampire expansion and anything that was Queen Anne matched the house so well. Sorry if you hear talking in the background. It matched the house so well, and I really kind of wish that they had a roof trim that matched that. So here I am using that like foundation fence that I discovered you can do before, and I actually really happy with how it turned out. I just wish there were more foundation options. The Sims 4 doesn't have enough foundation options, of course. Like, what are my complaints? I think anybody who's doing any sort of house build and they're really trying to base it off something, I think anybody's going to say, I wish The Sims 4 had more. So I was kind of messing with it because if you looked in the video, there was like a side path, or not the video, the original picture, there was a side path that kind of had like, it looked like there could have been like a garage to the back right hand side. And so that I ended up putting that in because the Sims 4 can't really put in garages, and I noticed in one of the future houses that I'm gonna build, I'm gonna need to put in like a fake garage because it's the Cape Cod house and they have little garages. But I ended up moving this just to be centering on the entryway. But I did like how this fence turned out. I think it looked really cool with the rest of the build. Um, and it matched with what I was going for. So I'm glad that it worked. I ended up sizing down a tree and putting it there because they had like a triangular shaped bush. They also had it seem like kind of like um a I guess a planter area for the plants instead of it being kind of like just in front of the house. And I end up using an actual wall for this. Like, as you can see, I was trying to use that and lower it down, but I couldn't connect it. So I was like, you know what? Why am I doing this when there's probably like fences I can use? Which this fence worked perfectly. Like, I was so excited with how that fence worked. It kind of met my needs. It would have been better if I had something more like stone like, which I know you'll see in my next build because I've already finished the layout of the next house, which I'm actually also really excited about that. These two builds, like the exterior really turned out really well in comparison to the actual picture. I also copied and pasted all my before and after photos. I shouldn't say before and after. Original and my copy photos and into a folder, so when I finish all 23 or not episodes, but 23 parts of this series, I will do kind of a talk on all my builds, and I might even have myself like in the shot like talking about it. Um but yeah, spandrels. Those things are called spandrels. I was saying it right one of the last videos. The thing under the roof with the archway kind of looking things, they're called spandrels. I finally figured out how to say it right, which is kind of sad, but okay. That's fine. Oh my god. I have been saying that wrong like so many times. Like, I think I call it spanders, bandrels. Like, I've called it all sorts of crazy stuff. So I finally figured out how to say it right. Yeah, so I'm putting in the fence. I know that the original picture didn't really have a fence, but I wanted to put some more stuff there to make it look more decorative, since you couldn't really have, wow, I'm tired, a very decorative poles, pillars, words, talk. Ashley, it's not hard. I actually end up doing the full build in this episode as well because the house is smaller, and it was like kind of like I was in a flow. It was like the middle of the night last night. I'm like, all right, I guess for you guys, like 3 nights ago, because I know today, I just released the second part of the Greek revival. And so this video is going to be going up tomorrow. For you guys, it's today. I actually figured out finally how to put these in. Like I kept trying to use these before and it just didn't work. And I'm like, all right, cool. It doesn't work on the second level for some reason. I guess it works only on levels where you have another level above it or something like that. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. So I'm putting in terrain painting because I feel like we're next to the house. You're not going to have perfect green grass unless there's some growing up on the wall. So I put a little bit of dirt in it. Same with the fence line. I go all the way around with that. And then I put in some bushes here because I felt like it felt empty. It looks like this whole area is paved and it goes around the house paved. But I decided not to do that because, again, these houses belong to more of rural areas. So I want to see some plant life. And they do have the hanging plants, and I was able to get some hanging plants in the house once I get more into the furnishing of it. So put the windows in. Now I do the layout. The layout, I had a little bit of an issue with the layout, but once I kind of figured out where I was going with it, I was happy. The staircase wasn't that hard to put in. I actually didn't really look at floor plans for these houses like I usually do. I kind of just went with it. And I think it worked out in the end. So I ended up putting in this wrapped around staircase. Behind the staircase, I ended up putting a bathroom. Just getting the widths of everything because there was going to be a hallway. I felt like that was thin, and then I decided not to have the hallway. There were a lot of choices that I was making with this build that I ended up just kind of picking one and going with it. Yeah, once I get the layout in, I was pretty happy. Then I had to get the staircase, and then it had like the under part. I did not want to have the under part in the staircase. I wanted it to be filled in, and I had to figure out, okay, which house was this? I'm going to go with this color. Yeah, there was some option choosing and all that kind of stuff. But once I got the final layout in, I was pretty happy with it. I had a few struggle bus issues at the beginning, and then it kind of figured it out. Yeah, sometimes if you have your roof like going through the build, if you don't lay out your rooms right, it will clip, and I hate that with a burning passion. Sims 4, fix your game. I don't know. Yeah. I moved this around for quite a while. I guess I could talk about that's a whole spiel. By the time I get done with it, the video will be long over. I was going to talk about like Sims 4 versus Sims 3 and why Sims 3 is better, and that's just a whole ordeal. So I end up having 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Oh, did I even like upload that with the proper? I don't know. I'll have to check that on the Sims store when I get back in. Today I'm gonna finish recording the next video, which is the Italianate. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Italian 8. If I'm sounding it out, it's English. It's Italian 8. Which, again, the exterior of the house, I did so much for the landscaping of the next build, and you'll see it. Like, I went, like, spot by spot. And the video ended up going pretty long when recording the first part. Like, it was a while. This video is a little bit longer than most of my videos, and it was because I ended up doing it all the way through instead of just pausing when I finished the basic layout. I was like, all right, how much time have I been recording? Okay, an hour. Okay, I'm gonna put this on 300 speed and I'm gonna finish this build because I was like in a flow and I was in it. So I wanted to finish this build and put it in one video because realizing that I have 23 of these videos, 23 of these houses, and I'm just really excited to see kind of the end point after I get all of these done. So we'll see. You'll see. So this is where I'm actually Googling the kind of wallpaper you use in Gothic Revival. I realized, hey, this wallpaper, you can use some of the Queen Anne wallpaper. You can use, and I'm also Googling the furniture. So I'm like trying to see, I didn't want to use like the bats, which is some of the vampire and Halloween stuff, but using some of the more decorative like stuff, like you can see the pattern in it, was really nice to use. So I used a lot of that throughout the house. I didn't do dark colors necessarily. I kind of kept with somewhat muted tones, but it's a little bit more decorative than my taste. I wanted the dining room to be a little bit more, but I ended up going with kind of the same I use in the one of the bathrooms, and then I ended up changing the bathrooms to have a little bit different. And then yeah. The flooring, I end up going with the same kind of very decorative flooring. Something I would not use, but I think it matched the build really well. And then with carpet, I chose the carpet for the bedrooms that did have some of that kind of decorative look to it. So again, I it's a little bit more, I like solid colors. Like if I'm actually decorating something to my taste, it's going to be solid colors all the way. And it's not always going to be muted tones. Like I understand muted tones being something like that you want for a house that sells better, people like it more. My bedroom is this dark purple. Like I don't care much for muted tones. I like bold. I like I do like the idea of like most of the walls muted tones and then you have like an accent wall. That's a really pretty idea. Um, but again, I like bold solid colors. I don't like this like decoration. I also realized I didn't change the roof color, which needed to be also kind of a reddish color. And then that was like a green and I wanted to make sure it matched. Oh, and then I realized I didn't put the potted plants up. So I was like, I gotta do that. And I also ended up putting some light posts. I ended up sizing them down because I thought they were a little too big for the house. So I ended up sizing them down. You'll look in the original picture and you'll see the lampposts. Here I'm putting in the hanging plants. I don't know if there's like, I think there's an actual hanging plant, but I end up just using this. And it worked pretty well, I guess. God, I like that feature where you can like raise it and lower it using move objects. Yeah, I wanted to see if there's anything else I wanted to add in. I did add a little bit of decoration, um, but I didn't want to go too far with it. I added these pipes for like the drainage, like the gutter drainage, because the original build did have that. So now I get into furnishing it. I was going to put weeds on the side like that because I felt like that side was empty, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to leave it be. If people want to decorate it, they can when they download the build. Again, you can download these builds on SmashleyBrewer on the gallery, the Sims gallery. You will need the stuff packs. I haven't actually checked that. So again, I'm using like anything I can from like the vampire pack or Queen Anne style because I felt like it fit one, the build, and two, it actually matched what Greek revival furniture looked like. So I was like, okay, cool. I can do something with this. I'm really excited about that. And again, like after this build's done, like I am so excited with how it turns out. Like you'll see, like it really worked. So some of these, like I did not go all the way with it. I kind of did tone it down a bit because I didn't want it to be, I love how the carpets fill out a room. I didn't want it to be too much. Like, I still wanted people to want to download this. I assume that when people like use this, they're gonna like want to refurnish everything on the inside or something, or they'll use like this will be like more vampires or something like that. I did already when I was building the next build. I did already get a few downloads on this build already, and I was really excited because I was so excited with how this one turned out specifically. Like, I don't know. I'll keep saying that because this one and the next one just turned out so well. At least the exterior. And I did like how the interior of this one, I have not actually recorded me furnishing the next one. I'm breaking that one into two parts because the exterior, I spent so long on the landscaping for the next one. And I'm really proud of how it turned out. It's definitely, I took my landscaping to the next level with the next build. So yeah, just furnishing. Like I feel like I could talk about me doing what exactly I'm doing right now, but you can see it. Duh. Furnishing the bathroom with. I wanted again to try and keep using the same kind of packs, so that it all kind of matched with the entire interior of the house. I chose Queen Anne for a lot of it, lighting the same. Added decorations in the bathroom so they weren't so empty. I actually went more methodical than the last build. Like the last build, I went like all over the place. Like I was working on one room, then I was working on the next room, then I was like, no, I'm gonna work on this room, and it was a lot. This one I was more methodical in the way that I went through the rooms. It is so hard for me to like add like accent pieces to a room that contrast because I feel like I want everything to be like a monotone color. But people don't really want that. You want something bold that pops out, I guess. I say I guess because it's not really my thing. But I don't know. I think it works putting that red carpet in the entryway. And then now I'm starting on the kitchen. Kitchen was actually pretty easy. I ended up just clipping through the window. I was like, I'm not dealing with this window. It's just gonna have to deal with like part of it. Like who's going to be walking around the back? Like let's be real. I have that thin fence. Like nobody's gonna really notice it, and if they do, boo. I don't care. I am just trying to get this kitchen to work. I was even thinking about that when I was putting the windows in. I'm like, I need to make sure that like I put it high enough so I can just put it in front of the window, and then I didn't, and you get what you get, I guess. Cabinets. I didn't put as much decoration into this kitchen that I'd like. I hate this little piece. Like I want to put it in at the end there, but you can't. I don't know how you would put that piece in at all. Like I don't get it. It frustrates me a lot. um yeah, I end up going with some of the Queen Anne decoration for the or not Queen Anne. Yeah, it was Queen Anne. For the fridge and the stove. I was like, oh, it's dark. I need lighting. I ended up not putting too fancy of lighting because, again, I wanted to kind of keep with the same styles and stuff packs. So I wanted to see if there's anything vampire that I could put in here. There was. So I did that. I didn't like the chairs that come with the vampire packs, so I ended up going with just something that was Queen Anne. I ended up actually putting the same... Instead of having the carpet in there, I end up putting... Or not... Yeah, carpet in there. I end up putting the same wood paneling floors and then putting a carpet in there because I know in the last bit I was like... I put carpet in the dining room and then I put a rug over the carpet, which is fine. It just, I think, fit better if I had to put the tile. So then I realized... I was like, why aren't these chairs lining up? And why is it clipping through? Like, what the heck? And I realized that they're not supposed to be... like kitchen chairs, and I'm like, all right, so where's my issue? Oh, I'm in the comfortable chairs and not like the actual dining room table chairs. I put BB.move objects back on because the archways wanted to block that, so there you go. I did like how this dining room turned out once I put in some more decoration to it. So I wanted to put a planter in that corner, or at least something that hung from the window. Which you'll see me put in after I put in a few more decorations here. So again, checking the Queen Vampire pack to see if there are any decorations I wanted. There wasn't. So I did end up putting the shields in the same way as the last build. I feel like I end up using kind of similar stuff. I did like how I put that little accent above the window there. I ended up putting these little things. I've never used them before, but I thought that really fit with some of the decor choices I had. Picture in that corner, and there's that plant hanging from the window. So I liked how that turned out. Put some stools there. Then I added a few decorations to the kitchen, but not much. Like I added this milk jug. I thought that fit really well. If I go back, I'd probably spend more time on this, but I did realize that I'm like choosing to record this all at once, so I kind of had to keep it a little bit more quick because I did spend a lot of time on some of the stuff. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, there's not really many Queen Anne decorations for the kitchen, so we're gonna move on. So I go upstairs, and I actually was gonna add that piece in there, but I ended up adding that to fill out the dining room a little bit more. So I'm just trying to find decorations to fill out this area, and I don't really find anything I like besides adding one of those end table type things and adding something on top of it, and then I think I either put lights or a picture over it. That's another thing with these bedrooms. Instead of, so I have 2 bedrooms, not 3 bedrooms in this house, I think. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked with my thought on that. I know I said I think it was 3 bedroom, 3 bath, but it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. I don't know why that ship doesn't fit on that table. I feel like it should, but yeah. Instead of putting like an overhanging, light in all the bedrooms like I usually do. I actually put more side lights and lights on the end tables. Because I would figure that during Gothic Revival, like these houses were just putting in electricity, I guess. I don't know. And so instead of having like this big chandelier, I feel like the side lights or the end table lights fit a little bit better, and that actually kind of excited me more on that. And then choosing how to put a flooring in for these were kind of annoying, so I ended up just putting some tile from the base game. I made that the pink room's bathroom a little bit smaller, and I kind of made this one a little bit larger. I think in the end I made them the same size. I don't know why I didn't make them the same size at first. Like I think now the bedrooms, I know that the other bedroom's a little awkward shaped in comparison, or no, not really. I don't know why I had such an issue with shaping these bedrooms. I think they're pretty symmetrical. Yeah, they are symmetrical. Why did I have such an issue furnishing? Oh, no, they're not. Because the asymmetry of the house shape causes the other bedroom to be a little bit smaller. And I'm like, I don't know why it took me so long. Oh, I can just put it on the side here. What the heck? So this bedroom is smaller than the pink room. I realized that like I had issues with lining these up to the perfect height, and I'm like, I can just put this here and then glitch it there and then delete the extra one. Duh. So again, these beds actually match the Gothic Revival really well. And so using them I was really excited to use them because I was still keeping true to Gothic Revival style furniture and style in general. Because the wallpaper to the furniture, like those beds, like when I looked up a picture of Gothic Revival furniture, kid you not, those beds were in that picture, like except real, not Sims. So I was really excited with how it turned out and getting to use those and actually like keeping true to the shape and build of Gothic Revival. Because that's kind of the point. Like if I could and go through all the houses and stick to the style of furniture that was used in these houses originally, I think it would make these videos to the next level. But again, I don't think I'll be able to do that without finding creative content or even making creative content. So you get what you get, you don't throw a fit, right? And even with like Sim Stories, like this is a thing that like it's the Sims. Like you can't perfectly fit some of this older furniture, and I don't even know like if I'd want to use some of the older furniture. So I don't know. The next build, I have not seen what the furniture style is for Italianate houses. I think with that one, I think I'm gonna go with more of the cottage living furniture pieces. Because the wallpaper that I looked up for the Italianate matched some of the cottage living stuff. So you'll see. So I ended up going very pink with the bathroom, like I did with the bedroom. I would never like that much pink because pink is my least favorite color. I am 100% for purple. Of course, I say that, but like I think my last like 4 builds, I had a really pink room. Though I did have that one purple room that I really liked. It was very lavender. So yeah. I got really excited because I woke up to a comment on one of these videos. And it was just a comment bot. And I was like, oh, this is really sad. Anyway, thank you for watching. You can get the build SmashleyBrewer on the Sims gallery. Thank you.